Welcome back. President Trump could be moving from Twitter wars to a trade war. Less than 24 hours after he announced a $50 billion tariff on Chinese goods, China responded with a $50 billion tariff on our stuff, including soybeans, pork, and SUVs. It's an economic gut punch to the country's heartland, but Chief Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow today told Neil Cavuto the president is not to blame. Watch.
Blame China? Don't blame President Trump. For all these years, China has had unfair and illegal trading practices, Neil, and I think the rest of the world knows that.
The president tweeted today that we are not in a trade war with China, but this certainly doesn't look like peace. So can the two sides make their way to the negotiating table, or is there going to be more of a showdown? Joining me now, Associate Professor of Economics at the King's College, Brian Brenberg is here. This is your weekly installment of Brianomics. Let's discuss. A lot of people are freaking out. Trade wars are never good. The Chinese are hitting the president on soybeans. He won 10 of the soybean states, SUVs, planes, and beef.
Yeah. But, you know, the stock market doesn't think we're going to get a trade war. I mean, today was fascinating. We dive almost 500 points, come back 700 points. Investors just don't think we're at the trade war stage here. They think we're at the negotiating stage. And that makes sense because nobody's put a real deadline on when these tariffs are going to take effect. China has no deadline. The U.S. says 6 months from now. That's a very long time. So I don't think we're at the trade war point here, and I think the watchers are saying, yeah, that's right. The question now is how quickly can we get to a deal?
Yes.
And that's what the president has to make.
What does a deal look like? What does a trade deal with China look like?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got some pretty big issues here, particularly with the intellectual property theft that you and I have talked about quite a few times.
What I think you'll see is U.S. companies not having to enter into joint ventures in order to sell their products and make their products in China. That's going to be the big one. I don't think it's going to be totally repealed, but I do think they're going to step back on that, and some of the licensing requirements in order to do business in China. And I think you'll see China buy more semiconductors from us. It's going to be things like that the president can take back to his base and say, we got something done on this. We're making forward progress. That's what he wants. I think China is going to be willing to give on that as well. So it's a deal they want to get to because the president can't take a stock market up and down like this the rest of the year. He's been running on stock markets. This isn't going to be good going into midterm elections. He's not going to want to tolerate it come July, August, September. So expect something to happen, I think.
And you say
well
expect more volatility. I mean, we've had a pretty healthy bull market since the president took office.
Well, there's a ton of uncertainty here. I mean, when you negotiate, it can only happen if there's uncertainty. A negotiation requires uncertainty.
And the president knows that.
And he knows that, and it helps him. But it hurts businesses, it hurts farmers. So you're going to see the stock market move up and down until that uncertainty goes away. And it won't go away until he gets a deal with China, which is why, again, he's got to move quickly. I think the uncertainty is okay in the short term, but he's got to move quickly because the longer this goes on, farmers start asking the question, well, what do I plant this year? Soybeans, corn, what am I going to do? Companies have the same problem.
It is a cyclical enterprise, and they can't have uncertainty.
You've got to make plans ahead of time.
What do the other TPP countries do if we do, in fact, have some sort of unilateral trade deal with China?
I don't know if it affects what they're doing all that much. I mean, the world right now is waiting with bated breath, and they're trying to figure out, are we going to get a big trade deal? I don't think it's between China and the United States. I don't think it really goes anywhere beyond that. So the president has captured the world's attention. He's focused on China. The other trade deal that really matters here actually is NAFTA, I think. That's the one where we wonder what's going to happen. We saw today the president kind of step back a little bit on some of the auto part requirements. So I think the news is better there. But if he can get somewhere on NAFTA, and if he can get this dispute with China resolved, I think you'll see markets pop then, because earnings this year are supposed to be big, double-digit growth in earnings. There's a good news story to tell, but he's got to get through these negotiations. This is his chance to prove if he's really a great negotiator. He put himself in this spot. If he comes out on top, it'll be great for him and Republicans, but there's a chance he could come out losing in a big way because the stock market tanks. It's possible.
That's absolutely true. And China has positioned itself by stealing a lot of our best ideas. And, you know, a lot of the stuff from tech companies where they have capitulated in order to boost their own long-term economic success.
And this is why I think people are more willing to deal with some of the short-term uncertainty, because there is a big issue out there. I mean, IP is the backbone of our economy. China steals it. The president wants to do something about it. People are saying if he can do that, that could be a big deal. We're willing to deal with a little short-term uncertainty to get the negotiation going. And it could be a massive win for him because nobody's dealt with this issue before. No president has dealt with Chinese IP abuses before. This could be a signature for him if he can get it, but it's not a slam dunk. He's going to have to bring whatever negotiating skills he has in order to get it done.
No, and it boils down to freedom because China still has a state-run economy, but they want all of the benefits of a free market economy while the government still runs everything. And if the president can throw a monkey wrench into that system without completely humiliating them, and both of our economies grow, what does that do for the global economy?
It's great because China is, there's a billion consumers in China who want to be served. There are great minds in China who can serve the rest of the world. This could be a win-win for everybody if tariff barriers come down. And I'll give Larry Kudlow credit. The thing he did really well today is he took a conversation on tariffs, and by the end of the conversation, he was talking about lowering barriers for everyone. I don't know how he did it, but that's his great strength. He turned this thing around into a growth story, and that's what it has to be for the president. The president's got to get this done in a way that facilitates growth.
Growth, indeed.